Hello Ride On people, just enjoying a cup of joe in my back garden with my Alaska mug. Today's video is not about me actually, it's about one of the Ride On crew members, Bill. He's been riding with us a couple of years now, has become very much a firmly regular. Very nice guy, very level-headed, good rider, very experienced, has owned several high-end bikes. Currently rides a Ducati Multistrada, and he's thinking about maybe purchasing the new Multistrada V4 in the future. And we've had a few people who are not Ducati owners riding the bike and getting their feedback. And full disclosure, if you don't come to this channel very often or you're not a subscriber, but I have a Ducati Street Fighter V4 and I have a Multistrada V4 on order, so full disclosure. I do like Ducati V4s personally, but I say this video isn't really about my personal views, it's about Bill's views, and it's good to get the feedback from an existing Multistrada owner. And Bill got to ride the bike yesterday back to back with the new V4, and as I say, he's owned his Multistrada a number of years, so he's intimately familiar with the bike. And it was good to just get his views on what was good, bad and indifferent. And so I'm going to show you that interview now, and then we'll show you some VT of him riding the V4 in front of myself on my Street Fighter, and we'll finish off with maybe just a couple of photographs of the day. Anyway, keep watching and you'll see how Bill got on. Okay, so Bill, you've been riding the 1260 Multistrada for some time. How long have you had that?
I got a 1200, 2011 1200 I've had for 7 years.
Wow, so you know it pretty intimately.
Yep.
And today you've been riding Jerry's Multistrada V4 as well as your own Multistrada back to back.
Right.
And what are kind of like the positives you can take from it? What do you think is good about the bike? Let's start with that.
The V4, super smooth in every respect. I mean, the power comes on smooth, and there's a lot of it. The quick shift is awesome. Handling wise, I don't mind the 19-inch wheel at all. I've hardly noticed it, to be honest, and it seems more stable as a result, for me anyways. I thought it was great.
So what about the kind of ergonomics and general comfort?
Super comfortable. I thought the windscreen is great compared to mine. It's like I almost had no wind on me at all. And I thought it was very comfortable. The seat was very comfortable. The position was comfortable. If you want to stand on the pegs, I think it's easier to stand on the pegs with this bike than it is my 1200. I just thought it was awesome.
And the Stylema brakes and Brembo master cylinder, all good?
They were great. Yeah, they were great. I saw, I felt no concerns at all. They were very manageable, and I mean, nothing really. I would say that was very similar to my bike, the braking.
So the positives are the V4 is very powerful, very smooth. The brakes are really strong with lots of feel. Comfort and ergonomics are excellent, particularly the screen, which is a big improvement by the sounds of it for you.
Yep.
And was there anything about it that you didn't like, or you would change, or you think is opportunity for improvement?
Yeah. So it's pretty quiet compared to my 1200. And so I don't hear that much of the engine. I wouldn't mind hearing a little more of it, I would say. But other than that, I can't think of anything. I felt like I was sitting higher when I was on that compared to mine. But,
yeah.
For me, it was great.
Cool. Jerry showing off the screen control there.
Yeah.
Thank you, my assistant. Photo bombing and stuff. So very little other than perhaps a little bit more the lovely V4 sound.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind hearing a little more of that, but other than that...
Did we mention the quick shifter?
Yeah, the quick shifter is great. It was, and of course I don't have a quick shifter, and so for me that's a massive improvement.
Yeah, but you used quick shifters before,
yeah.
And compare with other quick shifters?
This is perfect.
Yeah,
I mean,
I think it's the best I've ever used,
yeah,
for sure.
It just works.
So, not to put you too much on a spot, but I know you've got other things vying for your finances at the moment, but in time, do you think when it comes to changing your existing Multistrada, do you think this is number one alternative at the moment?
Yeah, for me, I probably wouldn't bother looking at anything else.
Good, that impressive.
Yeah,
I know certainly for me, I know some of my subscribers that have them on order, they're a bit, they're getting itchy fingers to pull the trigger on something else because supply, is demand is outstripping supply. But I think that's the case with a lot of bikes at the moment. I think people need to just hold their nerve, because once they get this, they'll realise it was well worth the wait, I think.
Yeah, I think for me it'd be a no-brainer. I'm not in a huge hurry to replace mine, but when I do, this is the bike I'll be looking at.
All right. Well, thanks very much for talking to us today, and hopefully we'll see you soon on a V4 of your own.
That's right.
So that was Bill's thoughts and ride on the 2021 Ducati Multistrada V4S. I should say that bike is actually owned by Jerry, who subscribers will know we've been following him long term on his bike. And in fact, yesterday it just clicked up 10,000 miles, making it probably the highest mileage bike in customer hands on the planet. And it's super smooth, super reliable so far, and no issues. Jerry loves it. And in terms of things Bill didn't like, he thought it could be, he liked the sound of the V4 and he'd like to hear it a little bit more. I think off the top of my head, his Multistrada V-Twin has an exhaust canister, so that would obviously sound kind of more booming than a stock Euro 5 compliant V4S, but something easily rectified, assuming you don't mind cutting a check for the cost of changing the exhaust. Other than that, he seemed to be scratching his head as to what he didn't like. It seemed he was totally in love with the smoothness of the up and down quick shifter, thought the brakes were strong and smooth, loved the comfort, and one big improvement for him was kind of ergonomically the screen. The screen seemed to really work for his height, and I guess off the top of my head Bill was about 6 foot. not too dissimilar height to myself really, between 6'2", and he really liked the screen. And one thing I didn't mention on the camera, but he said he didn't experience any heat from the engine. It was 90 degrees yesterday, probably you can't tell that from the video, but it was hot, really hot, and the air ducting channels away from the bike kept the heat away. It does have rear cylinder deactivation if you get caught in traffic jams, but he didn't experience any heat from the engine, so that was something else that was also a pro. And additionally, although most people have said the bike is super smooth and they've not experienced any vibes, we did hear from somebody, kind of like a friend who said some people on the web forums have mentioned it vibes a bit. Certainly Jerry hasn't experienced any vibes, and Bill didn't. I've ridden it multiple times and haven't. I do get some vibes off my Street Fighter. They were much worse during the running in period, much better now. It's done 4,000 miles, and it seems to be worse when it's very cold weather and low revs on my Street Fighter. After a while, yeah, if you cruise around at low revs, like 5,000 revs, bearing in mind it red lines at 15, it sounds particularly sweet at that spot, but it does create a little bit of vibes through your hands, and it can numb them after a distance. And unfortunately Street Fighter doesn't have cruise control, so that's more of an issue with that. But with the Multistrada, with its active cruise control, as soon as the feds approve it, but it still has cruise control until then, if that happens to be a problem for an owner, they can quickly relieve their hands. But he experienced no vibes or tingling vibes or anything. It seems super smooth to me, very smooth. So I'm happy with it. Jerry's happy with it. So they're just those two things that haven't been mentioned in this video, and maybe not in other videos, just because I often get comments about, you know, is the heat, you know, not better than a Panigale? God, yes. And is it hot compared with other bikes? And personally, I don't think it's any hotter than my previous 4 GSs, for instance. Certainly much cooler than my Rocket 3. And in terms of vibes, it's one of the smoothest bikes I've ridden. Yes, you still get some character. It's a V4. It sounds amazing, and V4s are definitely special, but it's not something, you know, it's not great lumps of pistons flying around like a touring Harley or anything like that. It's very smooth, and gives a nice galloping flow to it. Anyway, I said this video wasn't about me or my views, so let's end that there. But I just wanted to add those extra things because I know that's consistent with Bill's personal thoughts on the new Multistrada V4S. Take care.
Hey you, if you want to become one of the Ride On people, don't forget to subscribe. Ride often, ride carefully, ride on.